Welcome to another episode of the SNC podcast. I am your host, Folashade Anozie. Without a doubt, the coronavirus has affected the entertainment industry, particularly the live entertainment sector. From music concerts, award shows to live theatre, every sector has been brought to a standstill. There's also a glut of music and content that is steadily being released by the second in this new social media landscape. This has made it challenging for creatives and artists alike to stay relevant and get eyes and ears on their music or projects. Enter Nigerian rapper Blaqbonez. He's an artist who I think seems to understand how to market and drive engagement around his music, and I wanted to speak to him about that. During a phone interview from Lagos, we discussed the impact of the lockdown and social distancing on his creative process, the art of marketing on social media, and possibly working as a media consultant to his peers. My sincere apologies for the audio quality. Hi Blaqbonez, welcome to the SNC podcast.
Thanks for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
How have you been coping with the lockdown and social distancing?
I've been in my house all like throughout. I've been recording music, so I guess that kind of helps the whole.
So you've just been recording music pretty much, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been. I'm sleeping. I'm promoting my music.
I'm promoting your music, which we'll get to soon. Now, you talked about the fact that you've been recording music. Has the lockdown or social distancing, has the lockdown and social distancing, has that changed how you go about making music? Have you realized that maybe you actually enjoy collaborating virtually, or you actually miss collaborating with people in person?
I usually do most of my collaborations virtually already, so it's just a continuation of that. So there's no difference right now. The only difference is that I can't go out and do what I regularly go out for, or what I usually go out for.
Which is what? Yeah. What you regularly go out to do besides going for concerts and,
I perform, meet with people, maybe go out to have fun, have this kind of thing.
Well, hopefully a cure is found or a vaccine is found sooner than later, so that we can all get back to life as... I feel like life isn't going to be the same. Life has definitely changed forever, but at least people can go back to doing what they were regularly doing in some way, shape or form. Now, my condolences on the passing of your friend, Love Divine Ike, who was better known as Picture Kodak. I saw you tweet that you had become closer after shooting the Haba video and that she was an amazing person who brought life to everything that she touched. Now, for a lot of us who might have only known her as a talented creative and dancer, can you talk to us about what she was like as a person and what you miss about her?
She's an all-round, good vibes person. Like, if you even see most of her pictures, she's smiling. I barely smile in my pictures. So when I see her page, there's just the energy that comes from it. And when you actually hear her in real life, there's no dull moments. She's just a happy person, generally, you understand? And there are not many people like that. And so it feels like problems of the world, she doesn't let them get to her. So her energy it was just so sad that I heard about it, because it just made me feel like, so this death has nothing to do with what kind of life you live. Yes, and it just comes random. It doesn't make any sense. I don't even know why, but it is what it is.
Oh, may her soul rest in peace. And I'm glad that, like you said, she's touched a lot of people's lives, and her legacy, and like you said, just being a positive person and making some impact, some way, shape or form on people's lives will continue to carry through with our own actions as we continue to live our lives every single day. So, yeah. Now, on a lighter note, Haba. I see your song a lot on social media. On YouTube, the video has gotten more than, I believe, 100,000 views. And Haba is your most recent single that was released in March, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you talk about the creative process behind the song?
It was, so something happened when I was in my first year. A friend of mine went to a party, and there was a girl that was way too aggressive, but she was working on him and stuff. So he was calm down, Jonathan. So that thing stuck with me. So when I wanted to make song, I just channeled that whole story. So the whole concept of Haba is that a girl that's working on you and doing a lot, and they're like, please, you need to calm down. But she she refuses to calm down. So she wants to just keep.
And why did you think this was the time that you wanted to release it compared to, because when you look at your Mr. Bombastic EP, why wasn't that on that EP? Did you feel like this was a better time to release it?
I recorded it after the EP. So I didn't have it at the time I put out the EP.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, I hope I'm pronouncing that, the Janus video, the brand from Onitsha.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, because when I was watching it, I was like, yay, you're like on Genius. And then I put two and two together that, okay, yeah, when I saw the spelling, but that was just too funny. And I was just like, wow. And just using that as a launching pad, we have to talk about how you approach marketing your music and projects. I personally think that they're punchy and they're creative and they're funny. And I've seen some comments from people that you remind them of Lil Nas X when it comes to music marketing and strategy. Is he someone that you like and you have probably taken some inspiration from his marketing playbook?
So I didn't know Lil Nas X until he blew up. So I didn't even realize that he used to do a lot of stuff like this. But since he's blown up, like he always has this amazing tweet. But as regards inspiration, not so much. Because I never saw him when he was doing it, when he was up and coming, right? But I made one video in 2018 that did so much for me. Like I made one funny video, and I saw the impact he had on my music. So it made me realize that this side of me can help this other side. I don't have to alienate both sides. I can connect both. I can make every talent that I have work for each one and anything I need it for in that moment. So when I'm pushing music, I'll use my funny side, create content and everything. So ever since that particular video, I learned like a very huge lesson. So ever since then, I think about creating content to promote my music. So it wasn't really like a Lil Nas X situation. It was just something I discovered when I just made one random video one time.
And did you release the random video or is still stored away somewhere?
Yeah. I put it out. It was a video I was talking to Nasty on the video.
Okay.
It was funny. Yeah. And Nasty ended up replying. He followed me, and he posted something on his story. So when I saw the impact, I was like, wow. Because if I went and just said, listen to my music, the only people that already know me will care about that kind of tweet. But because of what I was doing with the conversation that I started, it attracted more people. Yeah.
And you touched on something that I want to ask you, which is that when you are thinking of marketing and creating content, do you approach it from the perspective of all I care about is I want to get as many eyes and ears on my music or projects? Or for you, it's a combination of I need to get a lot of eyes and ears on my projects. I also need to show that there is an art to marketing. Plus, I am really talented when it comes to acting. Which one do you tend to fall into?
So it's basically the first one, because my sole aim is to get people to listen to my music, right? So it's just now I'm realizing that in the process of creating these videos, and people are mentioning me, they're saying, okay, it seems like I can act. Right? I don't know, I'm not convinced until maybe somebody that's in the acting, like in the movie industry, sees it and says, oh, this guy can actually act. Right? So I don't know. I'm just trying to create content to push my music. So I'm not saying I'm trying to showcase that I can act or trying to showcase that I'm a marketing genius. I just know that this works. Yeah. And I'm doing what it takes to get. I treat this whole thing like a 9 to 5. It's like work for me. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about how to move forward that particular day. So it's not much of like showing that I can act or anything. Maybe eventually, I definitely would love to go into the movies. Like eventually, hopefully, when I get to that point, I can actually act.
Yeah. And then you remember that I told you that maybe you can act, and then you gave me a shout out when you eventually win some type of award. Because if you don't,
a lot of people are saying this, so you're not the first. Your shout out, I'll give you shout out. Exactly.
I'm joining the queue, Sha. I'm joining the queue. Now, you talked on the fact that a lot of Nigerian artists, or just even you in general, like you can't just say listen to my music.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think that, based on all that you have learned thus far in terms of like creating content and promoting your songs and your projects, what do you think that Nigerian artists fail to understand when marketing on social media?
So I think artists are kind of entitled a lot of times, right? Which sometimes is part of the brand, like it makes you feel larger than life. But then I feel like when you tell somebody to do something, right, you kind of need to give the person a reason to. So in terms of music, there's so much music going around, right? And I kind of realized that these days, it's no longer about the music as much as it is about the person that's giving you the music, right? So people's brands are stronger than their music right now. Everybody will kill themselves for Wizkid right now. If Wizkid coughs on a beat, it will literally be a hit right now, right? Because of the brand, the way people love him. They love him, Wizkid for Wizkid right now. They will do anything. So what I'm doing, and what I think a lot of artists need to also do, is find a way to get people to like you for you, so that whenever you bring out something, they jump on it. So aside promoting my music and everything, people are starting to like me because of I have a character. Most artists don't have; they are just artists. They don't they don't have they don't seem like real human beings. For example, I was checking somebody's Twitter some days ago, like a friend of mine, and I saw how normal human beings tweet, right? Normal human beings are talking to their friends, they are laughing about everyday things. Generally, as artists, we don't really get to keep about normal things. We don't. So at the end of the day, people don't see us as human beings. We are just machines that are turning out music. But when I make these videos and all these things that I do, it makes people see me as somebody that they like. So a lot of times, artists just come and say, listen to my music, right? That person doesn't really care for you, so he might not listen to the music. Am I making sense?
No, you're totally making sense. You are totally making sense. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm just building my brand, and I feel like most artists should do that too. But not everybody has to go my own route, but you have to find your own way to be real in your own space, so that people can see you and connect with your story. And you understand, like a lot of people just seem like robots.
No, and you made a point about the fact that people nowadays, the brand has to be bigger than music. I remember a time when it was blasphemy for you as a brand to be bigger than your music. Your music had to be bigger than you as a person, because at the end of the day, what people really want to hear is your music. Granted, you as a person is also tied into that, but nowadays that seems to have changed in such a way that you as the artist or whoever it is, people want to buy into you, and then that translates to them supporting you artistically or in whatever shape or form. So
you get like Burna Boy, the name Burna Boy, no matter how big on the low, yes, the name Burna Boy is like that's the brand. Like everybody is like nobody. If I think Burna Boy, I don't really think on the low immediately, even though that's the biggest song. I just think Burna Boy, the African giant, the guy that's like the non-conformist and stuff. You understand? So these days, brands just even the video has like if and for that are so huge on YouTube, but his brand is still way bigger. Like it's Davido. And so at this point, that's what I'm just trying to build for myself. The brand that's so strong. Sometimes when I step on stage, guys that have bigger songs than me, like certified smart hits. I don't even have a certified smart hit yet. But there are some guys that if we are at the same event, right, aside the fact that I might even be paid more than them, when I step on that stage, right, the crowd will be way more excited to see me than a lot of the guys that have bigger songs than me. You think when I step on the stage, I'll perform for 1 hour and be giving them back-to-back. But I don't really have that many songs that they know. It's just because they know me. So when they see me, they are more excited than the guy that has the biggest songs in the country sometimes.
I think it goes back to the point that you made about, and I think that maybe artists have to walk that fine line of, you said that pride goes into when you say like just listen to my music, and people think that because you're an artist automatically people should listen. I think that that's a fine line that artists and creatives have to walk, and not think that just because you put something out that means that everybody's going to respond to that. And maybe some people don't really understand that, yes, as a brand you want to be someone that it seems not unattainable, but it seems relatable. But don't get carried away whereby people don't want to, when you like say you come on stage and they're like, oh, okay, cool, even though you're a big star, So great points you make. Great points you've made. Now with the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the issues that is being discussed, I believe now more than ever, is the interplay between technology, artists, and monetization. And there are valid concerns about how artists are going to be making money since physical tours are out of the question for now, at least until a vaccine is found. Hopefully, maybe at the end of the year, next year, or 2022. How have you dealt with that, or how are you dealing with that reality?
At the moment, I'm very hopeful because at this point, the only stream of income I have right now is features and streams, right? Shows that's where the bulk of the money is right now. So I'm just hopeful, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to be diligent with the things that I can do right now. So I'm pushing digitally because I know that the more streams that I get, the more money that I can put in my pocket, right? So the more I can be active on social media, the more people want to work with me because knowing that social media is all that there is right now. So because we can't control the corona thing, I can only hope, but then while hoping, I can just find some other way to make some money. Hope for the best.
Yeah, so you're working while hoping. It's a combination. Now, with social media, we have different platforms. We have TikTok, we have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitch, Maestro. Which platform do you think has been instrumental to bringing more attention to your work and you think has led to an increase in streaming numbers?
My Twitter. By far, my Twitter. But then I create the videos with TikTok. So they kind of go hand in hand. But my Twitter I feel like the way Twitter is built to even help artists more than every other platform. Most of these platforms seem very close, right? Like you get it's almost guaranteed that on Instagram you get less views than your followers. It's almost a given, right? Sometimes people get more, but on Twitter, it's literally like someone that has 1,000 followers can literally drop a video that 1 million people will see. The app is kind of built to expose you more than most of all the other apps.
Yeah, I saw someone tweet that, I think it was 2 days ago, someone tweet that Twitter is the best platform for artists because of the level of exposure. So it's interesting that you're actually saying the same thing. I saw that he said that if you really want to grow as an artist, go on Twitter because it gives you more exposure. Just interesting. Setting aside your foreign fans and the foreign market, do you think that Nigerian fans will be willing to pay for virtual concerts that are put together by Nigerian acts?
I think they still...
And also just setting aside data issues as well. But go ahead.
What do you say?
I said when we set aside issues with data, because data is an issue here as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Depending on your fan base, right? There'll be people, definitely there'll be people, but I don't think it will be enough if you are not someone that has a proper fan base. You understand? Because, for example, one of these top streaming platforms, I hear that their subscriber base is 90,000 in Nigeria, right? That's one of the leading digital platforms for streaming music. So
90,000, you said?
90,000. So this is not a lot.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that many people on the internet. There are people that are willing to pay for stuff on the internet. So definitely there will be people that will be willing to pay for your concert, but it will not be enough in Nigeria unless you have a really huge fan base like we, David and Kobo. For every other person, I'll use me for example. If I had a virtual concert, I don't think it would be enough to even make me feel like it's a viable stream of income. But I believe that I'm working towards that point, right? When I can command millions of people, maybe I can make money from that. But for now, I don't think my fan base is strong enough. I don't think Nigerians generally are that in tune to paying for stuff on the internet. that much yet. Right?
Yeah,
Eventually, we are getting there.
Yeah, exactly. Because even Erykah Badu, who had her quarantine concert series, she was charging people between like $1 and $3, and I think 100,000 people showed up. But if you watch her interview talking about the entire process of putting everything together, which is extremely insightful, and people should definitely go check it out. It's on her website. She talks about the fact that she wasn't able to even break even when she charged $1, which led to her charging $2. And even then, she had to increase it to like $3 as well. So I was just thinking, reason why I asked you that question is the fact that when you have people in the foreign markets who are even unable to excuse me, make money from that. When you talk about the naira, whereby we have devaluation now, and you think about people not wanting to pay for stuff, well, hopefully we'll see how things go. And
but then the energy is just, to be honest, like I don't know if as a personal interest, I don't even know if I'm excited about watching someone perform virtually. To be honest, like personally, aside how difficult it is to access the data or anything, because I think performance is all about the energy.
It is.
People.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a performance. Without people, I might as well just be watching a YouTube video, right, of you in your house. So instead of making it live, you might as well just upload content and charge people to download it or something, because I don't find it.
You don't find it interesting. Yeah, and I think that you're not the only one who feels that way. But that was something that she mentioned. And when you read different articles, it's something that people have said that, yes, it's different watching someone at home versus going to the concert. But I think with the way that things are going in the world... Go ahead.
No, you were saying something, I didn't know.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was just saying that with the way things are going in the world, Blaqbonez, it's definitely inevitable that this is what is going to be the future. Because besides someone even just... performing at home or wherever it is, I think that if artists want to be very smart and strategic, then you get people who are into sound design, stage design, and you can do that. Because I feel like with Tory Lanez, when you saw his YouTube, I guess, concert series or concert that he had, I felt like it had that flavor of you were kind of still at his concert in person because of all the stage lights, all the, the sound effects. So I feel like if it's well put together, it can definitely work. But from the way things are going and just how the world is changing, I think that that's going to be the next step, and something that, when you read, you're like, oh yeah, it's definitely happening. It may not happen as quickly as we want it to, but it has definitely accelerated compared to when we thought it wasn't going to be, Now, yeah, so finally, I saw someone retweet Korede Bello asking you for help on Twitter.
Twitter, at the end of the day, Twitter becomes a family. Twitter is, you have to connect with people, right? If you ask from celebrity for them, they will just ignore, right? So you have to find a way to connect with Twitter people, most especially. So now that I'm creating content, the fans have to engage in the content. So we kind of became a team. So that's what I replied to him. I'm creating amazing content, engaging people. So now we feel like a team. So whenever I come through with something, so Twitter is never really about the number of followers. Somebody with 1,000 followers can regularly outdo somebody with 200,000 followers. That's the way Twitter is. As long as the people that, if you have 1,000 people, if those 1,000 people are engaging, you can move a mountain, right? And he's doing a good job on IG especially. I'm actually excited for him as regards the song is doing so well, I'm excited for him generally.
Now, have you thought of becoming a consultant and getting paid for that?
Yeah,
because strategy and consultancy isn't cheap. Go ahead.
Yeah, long time, maybe 6 months ago, I spoke to my team about it. So low-key, now with what I've done now, I've kind of strengthened my resume as regards this strategy and marketing thing right now. So I definitely know that it's going to be something that I will do on the side. Low-key, people might not even know that I'm the one pulling the strings or creating content. A lot of videos come out from my peers and everything that they send it to me, how can I caption this? What can I do with blah blah blah, and I put them.
Yeah.
So I can definitely be in the back and people consulting for people, helping people promote strategy, because aside just even making these videos, there's a lot of planning that goes behind the scene, like as to when to do something and all this thing. So like I definitely know in that regard I have a lot to offer. So I'm looking forward to working with a lot.
That's great. Now let's wrap up with the fun random questions. The first question is, you can only pick one: good health, $1 million, or a house in Monaco.
Good health. It's not even a conversation.
It's not even a conversation. Yeah, okay. Second question is, you get a phone call about doing a feature. Who are you picking? Lil Kim, Cardi B, or Megan Thee Stallion?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, I was going to initially ask why, but I was like, okay, but why would you pick her?
I like her energy. I like her energy so much, and she's beautiful. She has, an amazing body. So definitely, like everything, like I just like everything about her, and there's this when she raps, there's this raw feeling to it as somebody that's just being herself, and so yeah, most definitely.
Okay. Third question: what is the most important thing to you right now?
Most important thing to me, physical thing, or like generally, is it like physical thing, something physical or like life?
Anything, whatever it is that is just really important to you right now.
Maybe my phone.
All right. Well, I mean, you need to like interact with your fans and continue to release the music. So, I mean, that makes sense. Fourth question: what has COVID-19 taught you about humanity?
COVID-19 has taught me that like a lot of humans are like not educated, not sensitive. Generally, I've seen a lot of like stupidity with this COVID-19. Like even America, that everybody looks up to, like arguing that they should not wear like face masks and everything. Like, it's just crazy that how you think that everybody has enough sense to know that actually can take protective measures, even if you're not told like you should, but people are even angry about that.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just been so heartbreaking to watch. Final question: who are you choosing to take the one shot that will save your life? The options are Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, may his soul continue to rest in peace, or Reggie Miller.
You go with Michael Jordan now. That's the goal. I don't really watch basketball so much, so I don't know how good each of these guys are, but I'm guessing Michael Jordan is the one that everybody says.
Okay, that's cool. Now, do you want to talk about any projects that you're going to be releasing soon? What we should be expecting from you?
At the moment, I don't know what on my head is at like promoting Herbal. So depending on how good it does eventually, I'll know what I intend to do next. So for now, I don't know what I'm doing next. I have like a bunch of things that I work all the time. So I have so many. It could be a variety of 3 to 4 things that I could possibly release next. But they all depend on where Herbal is at after like a month or 2.
That makes sense. And I think it's always nice to hear people, whether it's an artist or a human being, just say like, I don't know. I'm just taking it one day at a time. And so definitely do that. And thank you so much for your time, Blaqbonez.
Thank you.
Today's episode is produced and edited by me, Folashade Anozie. Theme song for the show is by Imodu Ayonote. You can listen and subscribe to the podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audiomack, or Stitcher Radio. Simply search for the SNC Podcast, one word, no spacing. Also follow us at the SNC Podcast, still one word, no spacing, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for listening and continue to stay safe.